everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to take a look at the price action of Polkadot, as DOT has been on an absolute tear over the last couple weeks. The question is can the bulls keep up this beautiful momentum in the short term? I'm going to pull up a chart on one of my battle stations back here, and I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. Alright, USDT on the 12-hour chart. But before I begin, I gotta give a shout out to the Polkadot Bulls, as this thing has been on a rip lately, and I sure hope you guys are getting some sweet gains. Congratulations to you. So I'm gonna start today's analysis off by toggling into the price action itself, and right off the bat, I see that every single time Polkadot makes a leg up, that the volume is notable and increasing. I see that it's getting above the moving average here, as well as wiping out the last several months of volume read. DOT has, I've been able to plot in some very major areas of interest on the DOT chart, which is noted by these purple box liquid zones here. I do consider this the overall edges of the greater range for Polkadot and for any asset for that matter. This liquid zone here has a bottom side coming in at around $18 and a top side coming in around $19.50. If DOT is able to get any 12-hour candle body closures above the top side of this liquid zone, followed by 12-hour candle body opens on good volume, then I think that will be confirmation that DOT is ready for another meteoric rise to the upside. If DOT gets any candle body closures down below the bottom side of this liquid zone at $17.50, followed by 12-hour candle body opens, then I think DOT would be in for a greater pullback. An area of interest that I'd be watching for, if those conditions were to be met, would be around the $13 mark on this horizontal here, and I can see that the 55 exponential moving average is very quickly rising up to come into confluence with that. Looking left, I see that the 55 was certainly an area of interest in the past, picking up price action here before its next major rip to the upside. However, it seems more probable to me at this point in time that DOT does some sideways consolidation between this horizontal here and the bottom side of this liquid zone here. This horizontal I have plotted in around $16.50. And I don't hate any price action that goes sideways between that area and this purple box as well. Also, for those of you that are familiar with my technical analysis, anything that's opening and closing 12-hour or even daily candle body opens above the 21 exponential moving average here, I still consider trend in progress and under very bullish conditions. I also like the slope of the 30 simple moving average here, very aggressively sloped to the upside, and I do use the 30 simple moving average for slope analysis. So the price structure here is looking quite bullish. It's even very much possible that DOT has a 12-hour closure above the top side of this liquid zone coming into the new trading week. And I think that some of the only conditions that could really thwart that would be if Bitcoin decides to continue to the downside. But as of right now, Bitcoin is showing signs of a potential fake out as it made its move to the downside. And it is becoming more and more possible that Bitcoin is going to move sideways or up coming into the new trading week. But of course, anything can happen. If Bitcoin decides to rip to the downside, then likely it's going to take the altcoins with it. Toggling down to the RSI, I see that the RSI is under a little bit of pressure, and some might be arguing that there's a slight bit of bearish divergence between this point and this point. As you can see, the 12-hour candle body closures did come in a little bit higher than back here, and of course the RSI did get down a little bit lower. Taking a closer look at the RSI, I do see it getting kicked out of the bullish control zone, as well as getting harassed by the exponential moving average, and it does look like the exponential moving average is also going to lose the bullish control zone. Not a death sentence, but is indicative that some sideways action could be present and perhaps even a little bit of downside. Perhaps the RSI works its way down to the edge of the bearish control zone, which I wouldn't hate either, and I would be looking for it to find some support down there. I'm also seeing a potential trend line forming right here, which, yep, that is fair to plot that in on the 12-hour. That 3 touches is a trend, so perhaps the RSI works its way down to that trend line and perhaps it finds support at that time, but that is multiple steps ahead right now, and I'm going to want to see how this thing does coming into the new trading week. Stochastics down below are telling a little bit of a different story, as they are crossed to the upside, signaling that there is some buy pressure present. So there's a little bit of discrepancy here between the stochastics and the RSI as well, which ultimately what that's telling me is sideways is the most probable scenario, at least in the short term, like over the next week or so. The next most probable scenario, as I stated before, is likely upside. Down here on the MACD has crossed to the downside. I never take those signals. I think those are terrible signals to take. But I do see some sell pressure present here as the moving averages are pointed down. And I see that there is a fairly negative bar, a solid bar of negative momentum coming here on the histogram. But again, there's a little bit of a different tale being told by each of these oscillators. So again, usually when I see that kind of thing, especially in trending behavior like this, it usually means just sideways price action. So So those would be my conditions. Again, I'm going to need to see some 12-hour closures below the $16.50 mark. The 21 is going to be right there to play defense, so we'd have to see some closures below that before a test of this liquid zone. Breaking that liquid zone, then there would be perhaps more downside to this horizontal here, but that seems to be the least probable scenario at this point in time. But it's good to look at the possibilities, because for every probability, there's also possibilities, and this is not a crystal ball. It's far from it. Just a statistical advantage over the market, and as well as a means of being able to manage my risk accordingly. So anyways, you guys, it's been fun covering this. There isn't a heck of a lot of data here, but as time goes by, there will be more. DOT seems to be a very good project with a lot of promise in the future, and 2021 is just underway. So let's see if the overall bullish conditions remain within the market. And if so, it does seem to me that DOT is going to continue to be one of the bigger winners. It's not that we're looking for it to be a big winner, as it already has been, but it looks like continuation would likely be in the cards. So over the next week or two, I'm going to keep an eye on this chart, see what DOT decides to do, as it is a fun chart to look at. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for coming by and checking out this video. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out, and have yourselves a powerful day.